When I first made this video, I sent it off to my friend to tell me what you think. He said it was pretty good, except for I didn't include a backstory. And because of that, people won't know my coordination level. They won't know that I'm somewhat of an adrenaline junkie. And if I were to include that in the video, then the rest of the video would fall into place. So this is my attempt at doing that. I started walking at 8 months old. I would ride roller skates by the time I was 2 years old, and by the time I was 3, I was riding a bicycle without training wheels. I spent the first part of my life training in Taekwondo, riding bicycles, climbing trees, skateboarding, and all that stuff. And I later earned a black belt in Taekwondo, and it was a true black belt. It wasn't one of those participation trophy black belt. I'm self-taught in gymnastics and later became a gymnastics instructor whenever I was in high school. When I turned 20 years old, my older brother and I began skydiving, and we had a blast doing it. Once my younger brother became old enough to skydive and join us, we incorporated him into the fold. Then after that, I moved to Louisiana. I no longer skydive, but I fly over to Colorado every chance I get so that I can go snowboarding and ripping it up down the mountains. However, that's great for the winter, but I need something during the summer and the spring and the fall that I can do here in Louisiana. So that's where the thought of powered paragliding, PPG, comes into the mix. And that's my backstory. And so with all of that said, my name is Adam Bragdon, and I have decided to become a powered paraglider pilot and document my journey on this channel, Up and Adam. After all, how hard can it be? I've been watching all these videos of these YouTube famous people like Tucker Gott. Tucker is just awesome. The guy is a true inspiration to the sport. He's opened many people's eyes to the possibilities of powered paragliding. You have Woody from Woody's Gamertag. Woody is just very eloquent. Whenever Woody starts speaking, he continues on a roll and he doesn't lose his train of thought. He's got it well put together. And from Northern Louisiana, you have Kyle Oakley. I love Kyle O. He's very entertaining and informative. And from Southern Louisiana, you have Matt Minyard. Matt is known all over the world for his piloting abilities. He's been invited to China, France, Italy, the Bahamas, you name it. He's been there, he's flown it. Matt is awesome. I've been talking with Matt on the phone, and he lives about 2 hours away from my house, and he has a training school. So I'm going to go through his academy, which is awesome. I'm excited about that. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. I don't know where I'll end up. I don't know what kind of machine I'm going to end up owning. I'm thinking, because I weigh 200 pounds, that I'll be about a Moster 185 type of machine. But I also have the idea that I want to fly a trike. I've talked with Mike, who owns Blackhawk Motors. Mike told me that once you put the motor on the back of a trike, you'll never want to take it off. I talked to another guy, he told me the same thing. So do I want a trike launch? Yeah, I do. But I also like the way that Woody from Woody's Gamertag and Kyle Oakley both describe it. They say it's basically like getting to run off into the sky. I remember as a child, I would tie a towel around my neck, pretending to be Superman, run down the hallway and jump onto the couch. So foot launch sounds like something I want to do. But I also want a trike launch too. So what machine I'm going to end up in, I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll do both. With the MacFly paramotors that Matt Minyard sells, you can actually attach that motor, that Moster 185 I'm talking about, you can attach it to a trike and fly the trike, or you could take it off and just do the foot launch. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, because then I can get the best of both worlds. With the MacFly, you can pick whatever color netting you want. So I could get the netting orange to maybe match that Moster 185 orange. That orange on the black, man, that looks so clean. It looks good. So what kind of machinery I'm going to end up? I don't know. But I imagine me getting me a big fuel tank, because someday I want to take that cross-country flight from here in New Orleans over to Florida, where my mother lives. Now, when I first thought about taking on this sport, I naively assumed that I'd be able to come home from work, fire up my motor, and fly around for the evening. But it turns out that isn't the case. I actually live inside of a Class B airspace. And that's what those blue circles around New Orleans indicate. So it turns out my greatest obstacle to flying is actually the airspace itself. So yeah, I would love a large fuel tank to fly cross country, but my first and foremost job is pre-planning. I've got to learn what all the colors and symbols mean. I'm gonna have to look at the maps and figure out where I'm going, make sure I don't break the law flying from point A to point B. I'm going to keep you informed of the difficulties associated, the time associated, and the monies associated. And maybe that way it'll answer some of the questions that you might have, but it might also give you the push to do what it is I'm actually doing. So the time is about 7:20 right now. I'm supposed to meet Matt at 8:30 this morning, and I've got about an hour drive to get there. So it's time for me to get my butt in the truck and get on down the road. Well, the sun is shining. Good morning. So I'm up and at 'em bright and early today. I got out of bed probably about 6 o'clock so I can start my journey north of the lake, Lake Pontchartrain here in Louisiana. I'm going to meet Matt Minyard at St. Tammany Regional Airport and begin our training. I'm looking forward to it. Last night, Matt and I were talking about the possibility of having to relocate over to Mississippi in order to get this started, but that's because of a weather prediction that doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition. I watched the weather report this morning and it looked like it was all moving north of us, so hopefully we're going to have a good day. Well, I am closer now than when I first began. I've got about 2 more miles and then I'm taking a left. I'm not exactly sure how far away from the airport I am. I've never been here before. But one thing I am sure of is that I am very excited. I just passed a little green airport sign. Well, I'm here. I'm ready to get the day started. You can see behind me is just a big grass field. This is what they call an airport, which is pretty exciting. But also what's more exciting is over my left shoulder, that way, you're about to see a white van enter the frame. That white van, my friend, is Matt Minyard, ready to get the party started. No, wait, hold up. That's not me. That's Maria, Matt's girlfriend. I'm the guy holding the camera. My first day was spent kiting and looked a little bit more like this. Now here, I've saved you a lot of aggravation through the powers of studio magic and editing. And full disclosure, that wing spent a lot more time on the ground than it did in the air. It's just both boring and aggravating to watch. Although it would have been a more accurate representation of the difficulties I experienced had I left it in, just take my word for it. Now, these are some of my finer moments from that first day of training. Most people in training experience those 5 minutes where the wing dances in the wind above you and you feel like you got it. But those 5 minutes are followed by 20 minutes more of trying to get that wing back up in the air after it's fallen to the ground again, due to the wind changing direction or just stopping altogether. Now this is for all you beginners. Here comes a tip. Okay, you see how the wing dips down over here to my right? Right there. I should have ran to that right side, but instead I stepped to the left. And again, you'll see it dip down over here to the opposite side, dips down to my left, and I walked over to my right. I should have ran over underneath the wing. No matter what, stay centered under the wing. So Wyatt back there is 10 years old. He's been doing this since he was 9, and he's pretty awesome at kiting. It's pretty neat to watch him.
Good, turn and go. Turn and go. And power.
So here's Wyatt at 10 years old, practicing how to fly. He's already flown, by the way. But can you imagine coming back from summer vacation when the teacher says to the class, tell us what you did this summer? And Wyatt says, I spent the summer with my dad, Steve, right there, learning how to fly. How awesome is that? Well, unfortunately, the day is done and I'm headed home. It's been a long day, full of a lot of working out. And the workout that I did was kiting. I was kiting all day and the sun kicked my butt. I had no clue how much water I was going to consume. So I really came underprepared, but that won't happen again. I bought a full case of water to get me through the next couple of sessions. Kiting is a skill. It is something that somebody like Matt Minyard makes look easy. It is not easy. It's like a professional circus act whenever you're spinning a saucer on top of a pole. They can do it. They make it look easy. You get me a saucer and a pole and I'm going to break every dish you got. Matt Minyard puts on that harness and makes it look so easy. I put on that harness, the wing would come up and the wing would go down. I looked like a fool. It was a very hard workout. My hamstrings are sore, my triceps are sore, my quads are sore, my forearms are sore, and of course my skin is sore from the sunburn that I acquired out there in the middle of that field. I wasn't prepared for how much of a workout it was, but these are muscles I use every day. They just don't get used in this way, and it was an experience. So it does require a little bit of effort if you want to get good at it. I strongly suggest that you get training. Somebody like Matt, who can tell you what you're doing wrong and how to do it the right way. He knows what he's talking about. It was a great day, and I'm going back again tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted on future videos of what future workouts are like, future training sessions. It's a lot like a workout. But until then, God bless. I'm home.